Hello everyone. Welcome to session of another important class of carbohydrates polysaccharides. The following topics have to be discussed in this class. What are polysaccharides? What are different classification of polysaccharides? What are homopolysaccharides? And chemistry, structure, properties and functions of different homopolysaccharides such as starch, glycogen, inulin, cellulose and chitin. So, first we have to discuss what are polysaccharides. Polysaccharides, which are also called glycans, are the repeating units of monosaccharides or their derivatives held together by glycosidic bond. These are the compound sugars that yield more than 10 molecules of monosaccharides upon hydrolysis. There are two important functions for polysaccharides. First, it gives structure to the organism, either it is plant or animal, and it is used as a storage form of energy. So when come to the classification of polysaccharide, we can see the polysaccharides are classified depend on three categories. First one based on the chain length, linear and branched. Linear means the chains is linear without any branches. Example cellulose and chitin. And branch chain polysaccharides, as its name implies, it's contain different branches. Example starch and glycogen. Based on the monosaccharide units present in the polysaccharide, they divided into two, homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Homopolysaccharide means the monosaccharide units present in polysaccharide is same type or same monosaccharide units are present in forming polysaccharide units. Example inulin, starch. Heteropolysaccharide means the polysaccharide contain more than one type of monosaccharide. That is, different types of monosaccharide combine to form the polysaccharide. Based on the functions of polysaccharide, it's also two types, structural polysaccharide and storage polysaccharide. Structural polysaccharide mean it gives structure to plant as well as insects groups. Example cellulose, chitin. And storage polysaccharide means the polysaccharide which act as the storage form of energy. Example starch and glycogen. Let us go to the homopolysaccharide, one of the major class of polysaccharide. Monosaccharide molecules produced as the result of hydrolysis of polysaccharide are of same type, then it is called homopolysaccharide. That is, the homopolysaccharide contains same type of monosaccharide molecules. They serve as both storage and structural function. The storage functional polysaccharides, homopolysaccharides are starch, glycogen, inulin, and the polysaccharide which gives structural function is cellulose, pectin, and chitin. Here, this is the linear chain homopolysaccharide. That is, the same monosaccharide units joined together by glycosidic linkage to form polysaccharide. It is the branch polysaccharide, homopolysaccharide. So, homopolysaccharide, it's either linear or branch, but it composed of same type of monosaccharide units. So, glucosan means repeating units of glucose. Example starch, glycogen, cellulose. And fructosan is the polysaccharide containing repeating units of fructose. Example inulin. Galactosan means the polysaccharide with repeating units of galactose. Example agar. So let us discuss about the first important class of homopolysaccharide, starch. Starch is the carbohydrate reserves of plants, which is the most important dietary source of higher animals including man. And occurrence, as you all know, it's found in cereals, legumes, potatoes and other vegetables. And here it's other different sources of starch mentioned. Usually present inside the plant cells are compactable insoluble granules. as spherical, lens-shaped or ovoid-shaped insoluble granules contain starch inside the plant. And when come to the chemistry, natural starch have two components, amylose as well as amylopectin. Amylose, 15 to 20 percentage of the natural starch contain amylose. It's a long unbranched straight chain component, and amylopectin is the branch chain polysaccharide which constitute 80 to 85 percentage of the natural starch. Starch is a homopolymer composed of D-glucose units held by alpha glycosidic bonds. It is also known as glucosan or glucan. Let us come to the first component, alpha amylose, or simply it's called amylose. And the molecular weight of this is 10,000 to 50,000, formed in plant cells by the elimination of water molecule from glycosidic OH group of 1 alpha D glucose molecules and alcoholic OH group of 4th carbon adjacent alpha D glucose molecules. As in maltose. Maltose is alpha 1,4 linkages, but maltose contain only 2 glucose units. Amylose contain many glucose units. It's a polysaccharide. Enzymatic hydrolysis of amylose with amylase enzyme yield maltose units mainly. Amylose may be considered as anhydride of alpha D glucose units. Here the structure of amylose, alpha D glucose, alpha and another alpha D glucose, another alpha D glucose, and these molecules are joined together by alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Next compound is amylopectin. It's have a high molecular weight range from 50,000 to 1 lakh, presence of 300 to 5,500 glucose units per molecule. It's have same basic chain alpha 1,4 glycosidic link with alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage as in amylose, but there are some branches with alpha 1,6 glycosidic linkage similar to those in isomaltose. The average chain length is about 24 glucose units. Amylopectin upon incomplete hydrolysis yield disaccharide isomaltose. Here we can see this is like the structure of amylose, that is repeating units of alpha D glucose combined together by alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Here it's also, and the branching point linkage is alpha 1,6 glycosidic linkage. So one first carbon glucose OH alcoholic OH group is linked to 6th carbon OH group. So alpha 1,6 glycosidic linkage is present in the branch point. So amylopectin, it's with alpha 1,4 linkages as well as alpha 1,6 linkages. So you can imagine the complete structure of starch with amylose as well as the amylopectin units. Then properties of starch, it's a white soft amorphous powder and lacks sweetness. It's insoluble in water, alcohol and ether at ordinary room temperature. Specific rotation of starch is plus 196 degree. Starch on partial hydrolysis by boiling with water under pressure, high pressure at about 250 degrees Celsius, break down into large fragments called dextrin. This dextrin confers stiffness to cloths that have been starched or ironed. Starch molecule is highly hydrated since with many exposed hydroxyl group, and starch is a non-reducing carbohydrate since it's have all the groups are participated in the glycosidic bond formation, and it gives blue color with iodine. The blue color, however, disappears on boiling and reappears on cooling. These are the major differences between amylose and amylopectin. Amylose is a straight chain polymer of alpha D glucose. Here it is a branched chain polymer. About 20% is amylose and 80% is amylopectin. It's a straight chain, and in the case of amylopectin it is a branch structure, And the bonds alpha 1 for glycosidic linkage is present in amylose. And in the case of amylopectin, it is alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6. Both alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 glycosidic linkages are there. Less soluble in water. In the case of amylopectin, it's more soluble than amylose. It gives a dark blue-black color with iodine when treated separately. Give a reddish brown color with iodine. And hydrolysis of starch by the action of amylase. Amylase present in pancreatic or salivary juice converts starch into dextrin and then to maltose to glucose units. Let us discuss about glycogen. It's another important homopolysaccharide. It occurs in animal. It is major reserve food in animals. It's also called animal starch. It's stored in the liver and muscles of animal. It's abundant in liver where it may attain up to 7% of the weight. It occurs in animal cells as particles much smaller than that of the starch grains. And come to the chemistry. These are branch chain polysaccharide like amylopectin. It resembles amylopectin, but it have more glucose residues per molecules and about 1.5 times as many as branching points. Also, the chains are shorter, but more branches are there, so it's more compact. Molecular weight is 1 to 2 into 10 raised to 7. And the properties, so the structure is like amylopectin, but more branches and more glucose short chains with more branches and more compactable structures are there. Properties, white powder and is more soluble in water than amylopectin, readily forms suspension even in cold water. It's precipitated from aqueous solution by adding ethyl alcohol and is fairly stable in hot alkali. It's also a non-reducing sugar, gives red color with iodine. Starch gives blue color with iodine, whereas glycogen gives red color with iodine. The red color formed with iodine disappears on boiling and reappears on cooling. Let us discuss about another class of homopolysaccharide, inulin. It's a storage form of carbohydrate in members of plant Compositae, such as dahlia and dandelion. It's stored in the tubers of dahlia and roots of dandelions. It's also found in onion and garlic. When come to the chemistry, it's having molecular weight of about 5000. It consists of about 30 to 35 fructose units per molecule. It is formed in plants by eliminating a water molecule from the glycosidic OH group of carbon 2 of beta-D-glucose and alcoholic OH group of carbon 1 of adjacent beta-D glucose units. This fructose residues are joined together by beta 2,1 fructosidic linkages. Inulin is therefore 2,1 beta polyfructose. When come to the properties, these are the white tasteless powder and insoluble in cold water. In warm water, it easily dissolves, forming a colloidal solution which does not form a gel on cooling. Inulin solution does not give any color with iodine. It is a non-reducing sugar. Upon hydrolysis, complete hydrolysis by dilute acids, it yields D-fructose. So it is called fructosan or levain. On hydrolysis, however, inulins also yield a small amount of glucose besides fructose molecules. It is now thought that there are 2 glucose units are present in inulin molecule, one somewhere in the center of the inulin and other reducing end of the chain. So that's why upon hydrolysis, inulin yields a small amount of glucose. Let us move to the next homopolysaccharide, cellulose. As we all know, cellulose is the most abundant extracellular structural polysaccharide of plant world. This is the most abundant of all biomolecules in the biosphere, present in all land plants, and it not metabolized by the human system. Cellulose occurs in the cell walls of the plant and it gives structure or to bear its own weight. It's found associated with other structural substances such as lignin. Plant residues in soil consist of 40 to 70% of cellulose, and it occurs nearly pure form in cotton, flax, and in wood of many plants. So usually not found in bacterial cell wall. When come to the chemistry, molecular weight of the cellulose ranges between 2 lakh and 20 lakh, and 1250 to 12,500 glucose residues are present per molecules. It's formed by taking out of a molecule of water from a glycosidic OH group of carbon 1 of beta D glucose to the carbon 4 of adjacent beta D glucose. That is, it's contain beta 1 4 glycosidic linkage. It's a linear polysaccharide. That is, it's contain repeating units of beta D glucose units. So it's regarded as anhydride of beta D glucose units. This is the beta D glucose unit monomers combine to form cellulose molecules, and these cellulose molecules combine to form a microcellulose microfibrils. These are embedded in the plant cell walls. So the beta D glucose, this is another molecule of beta D glucose. The glycosidic bond is beta 1 4 glycosidic linkage. And come to the properties. It's a fibrous, tough, white solid, insoluble in water but soluble in ammoniacal cupric hydroxide solution. It gives no color with iodine as inulin and lacks sweetness. Although insoluble in water, cellulose absorbs water and adds to the bulk of fecal matter and facilitates its removal. It's lack chemical reactivity. So the cellulose is no nutritive value unlike starch, useful as fibers for paper and cloth manufacture. In man, the cellulose is not digested since it does not possess an enzyme capable of hydrolysis of beta D glycosidic bonds. That is, human salivary or pancreatic amylases are only capable of hydrolyzing alpha D glycosidic bonds. Alpha glycosidic bonds not act on beta glycosidic bonds. So, the man without the enzyme which hydrolyzes cellulose cannot digest cellulose. It serves as an important source of bulk in diet. However, the ruminants such as cattle, sheep, goats, camel, giraffe, and certain wood-eating insects are able to digest it because some microorganisms present in their digestive tract possess such digesting enzyme. Also, certain wood-eating insects such as termites, which can digest cellulose because their intestinal tract contain parasitic protozoan Trichonympha. This Trichonympha secretes cellulase, the enzyme which hydrolyzes cellulose, and this causes the termites to digest the wood. Upon hydrolysis, cellulose hydrolyzes to glucose when treated with concentrated sulfuric acid HCl and with concentrated sodium hydroxide. Cellulose also have very importance. Wood, cotton, paper and cardboards are all largely cellulose. Dried wood contain about 65% of cellulose, 30% lignin and 2% pentosands. The next homopolysaccharide that we have to discuss is chitin. Chitin is the most abundant polysaccharide of nature after cellulose. That is second abundant polysaccharide of nature. The most abundant biomolecules on the earth, found in fungi, but principally among the arthropods such as crabs and insects. Armors of crabs and exoskeleton of insects consist mostly of chitin and some proteins. The excellent mechanical properties of insect skeleton are due to chitin. Chitin framework of lobsters and crabs shell is impregnated and hardened with calcium carbonate. When come to the chemistry, chitin is closely related to cellulose. Alcoholic that is it's monosaccharide. Only the difference is monosaccharide is not beta D glucose, it is N-acetyl glucosamine. So it is a linear polymer of N-acetyl glucosamine units joined together by beta 1,4 glycosidic linkages. That is, this is the N-acetyl glucosamine units. Beta D N-acetyl glucosamine units. And this beta D N-acetyl glucosamine, that is to the second carbon N-acetyl second carbon N-acetyl amine group is attached. So this N-acetyl glucosamine form a glycosidic bond, beta 1,4 glycosidic bond with another glucose molecule. So the linear chain, it's not a branched polysaccharide, linear chain of N-acetyl glucosamine units are produced. Upon hydrolysis with mineral acids, chitin yields two final end products, namely glucosamine and acetic acid. That is, this glucosamine group is removed and this acetic acid is also gets separated. And when it's treated with chitinase, enzymes of the gastric juice of snails or from bacteria contain chitinase enzyme which decompose chitin into monomer units, N-acetyl glucosamine units. So as a summary, we said the definition of carbohydrate, different classification of carbohydrate, classification of polysaccharides, and features and examples of homopolysaccharides. So study well. These are the reference texts, and thank you for listening.